Warm welcome to Grace Gill. And Grace, what a way to finish the regular season.
Well, thanks, Steph. It's a pleasure to be here with you at Cromer Park, and what a beautiful evening for football it is. And you're right, tonight's match is well and truly bringing it down to the wire in several regards. There's a lot to play for here, and I'm sure both Ante Juric and Jeff Hopkins have one eye on the silverware.
Oh, they certainly do, and there will be a presentation after this match. One of these sides will win the premiership. The scenario is Sydney FC need to win or draw. Melbourne Victory, nothing but 3 points. We'll see them take the Premier's plate. Our referees for this one, Kate Jakowitz. Her assistants, Joanna Sharaktis and Anastasia Philikoridis. And our fourth official is Isabella Libri. What a night it is for our two coaches as well, sitting on the benches. I guess neither of them would have seen this one coming. Ante Juric coaching his 54th match with the Sky Blue women, his fourth season in charge. Melbourne Victory coach Jeff Hopkins, it's his 110th match as a W League head coach. He started, of course, with Brisbane Roar for 4 seasons before a stint in the men's setup and heading to Melbourne Victory in 2016, his 5th season in Navy Blue. Of course, took them to a premiership 2 seasons ago, looking to repeat that feat tonight. Well, Grace, I want to say the pitch looks exceptional, but given it's artificial turf, you'd want it to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, you certainly would. We are here on artificial turf tonight at Cromer Park. It's a beautiful establishment. I know there's some sort of contention around players if they want to be on synthetic. I know as a player myself, it's not my preference, and it certainly takes a few more days to recover from after you've had 90 minutes in the legs on a synthetic pitch. So I'm sure this will play into this evening's game. Sydney FC have more experience playing on this surface throughout the season, whereas Victory, on the other hand, this is their first game on a synthetic pitch for the W League season. So I'm sure Jeff will have had them training on a surface like this throughout the week. But it does change the way a game's played, the speed of a game. That's certainly right.
There's confirmation there of those lineups. Disappointment for Courtney Vine, of course. Some confirmation, or rather, we suspect there's confirmation that she's done an MCL, Grace.
Yeah, look, it sounds like that's the case, and really disappointing for Courtney Vine and for Sydney FC. She's just having such a fantastic season with the club, and really disappointing to see her go down last week, and she's braced up here tonight, so really hoping for the best in the recovery of that suspected MCL injury.
Well, a wonderful crowd gathering here on the near side. We've got about 1,000, looks like, sitting here at Cromer Park on a Wednesday night. Beautiful conditions for football. We do have Sydney FC players and Manly juniors, Pat Wood and Caleb Neuenhoff in the crowd. They'll certainly be enjoying this one. Quick check of the watch from Kate Jakowitz. Players certainly pumped and ready to go. And we're off. The visitors running right to left on your screen. The navy blue of Melbourne Victory getting us started. And they quickly turn over possession to the home side. Captain Teresa Plies pushing the ball forward, where it'll be picked up by Kayla Morrison, and Remy Simpson chasing hard. Simpson would have liked a shot at the golden boot, I suspect, Grace, as Lisa Devanna charges forward for the Victory. And slides it through to Cooney Cross. Back to New Zealander Annalie Longo, with Angie Beard picking up the back. Well, Remy Simpson, she finished the season before today on 7 goals. She'd need 6 to catch Em Gilnick. I don't think it's going to happen, but she does have a chance.
Look, it is a really tall ask there for Remy Simpson. She has been in some good goal-scoring fashion for this campaign, and I'm sure she'd have that in the back of her mind. But yeah, 6 goals is probably a bit too far a reach, and especially in the form that Victory have been in recent weeks.
Indeed, of course, it's Emily Gilnick, who's now departed for Fitcho in Sweden, or rather via Matilda's camp in Europe first, who finished the season on 13 goals when she wrapped up her time with Brisbane Roar. But, what these players are after tonight is the first silverware of the season, and it's difficult to believe it's come down to this last match. It wasn't even meant to be tonight, Grace.
No, that's exactly right, but it's really exciting that it's come down to this last match, and so much is riding on this game. We've spoken about it a lot. It's been spoken about through the week, just sort of which way the results, the permutations on this game will fall, and it's just exciting that we're here tonight to see what the last couple of weeks of the W League will shape up to be.
Well, I'm going to put you under the pump early doors. I called the Victory game on the weekend, and you called Sydney the week before. Who do you think has the wood in this one?
Steph, that's really unfair to do to me so early on in our evening together here. But look,
I'll do it now before you can be proved wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Look, I think Victory are just hitting their stride at the moment, and they're just coming into this game with so much of an edge. I feel like Sydney FC, especially with the loss of Courtney Vine from last week's game, they're just sort of running out of legs, and Victory are just going from strength to strength. So I feel like maybe Victory just have the edge tonight, but we'll see how this plays out over the next 90 minutes.
It was an unlucky ricochet off the back of Lisa Devanna that forced the turnover there. Now Sydney FC on the attack once more. Charging down the far side, and Claudia Bunge tries to intervene. A chance here for Sydney FC, and what a save. Confident from Gabby Garden to start the night.
That's a top save there from Gabby Garden. She's come out to close the angle and make herself big, and really good promising chance there for Sydney FC, but top bit of goalkeeping to get the night underway.
Sure is. We've got two of the best goalkeepers between the respective sticks tonight. Gabby Garden, of course, American-Argentine, actually played for Argentina against the Matildas some time back. And she's been wonderful for the Victory. Jada Wyman likewise for Sydney FC, and both would certainly like a clean sheet in this one. Mackenzie Hawkesby can't avoid Cooney Cross. Tricky feet from Kyra Cooney Cross. Fortunately lands at the feet of Nat Tobin, who swiftly sends it to her captain, Teresa Pelias. Tash Pryor, lovely to see her back in the W League. The last time we saw her in W League colours prior to last week, of course, was with your Canberra side.
Yeah, I think it's been a really warm welcome to the W League for Tash Price. She had a great stint last week against Canberra. She was just really solid back there defensively, hardly missed a pass, really aerially good as well, given the concussion that sort of had those few moments of, is she going to head it, isn't she going to head it? But I thought she was really solid back there, really resolute defending, and she's obviously earned her keep to be back in tonight's starting side for Sydney FC.
Yeah, 100% been plying her trade with Macarthur Rams in the meantime. I did pose the question as to whether she might join Dad Spencer Pryor over at Leichhardt, but apparently that's not on the cards.
Is that an unpopular opinion, was it?
I'm not going to tell you who I asked. Charlotte McLean gets it underway again from the sideline. Simpson charging down. Hawkesby over to Abini on the far side. Princess Abini always with an eye on goal, running forward for Sydney FC. It's there and over the crossbar. First real attack on the Melbourne Victory goal.
Well, that's a really good penetrating run there by Princess Abini. A good run into the box as well by Hawkesbury, and you think on any given opportunity that's got to be a goal. That's just got to be an open of the foot onto an open frame of goal, and Hawkesbury be bitterly disappointed not to get that one on target.
5 minutes gone, so surely she'll have more chances yet this match as Kyra Cooney Cross trots down on the sideline. Still Cooney Cross. Such lovely control from the youngster. There's a push from Abini on Doran, but no whistle as Abini now scampers away. Still Abini showing some pace, but an interjection from New Zealand international Claudia Bunge, who's been fantastic in the Victory backline this season. Fellow teammate Annalie Longo pushes it forward, out of reach of the navy blue shirts. Annalie Longo picked up a knock in the match on Sunday. Jeff Hopkins tells me that she was just taken off as a precaution, and, well, quite honestly, just because they could.
Yeah, they certainly could. They got themselves into a great position in that game, and they were probably able to rest some legs, and especially coming into a match on a synthetic pitch as well. I'm sure that would have been in the back of Jeff Hopkins' mind. And just watching the opening few minutes of this match, Steph, really unsurprising to see the pace at which Victory are coming out. They're applying a really high press to Sydney FC's defence, and it's a similar thing to what they did against Perth Glory over the weekend. So coming out all guns blazing and certainly looking to set the ascendancy in this match early on.
Well, it was an interesting match down at Epping Stadium in Melbourne as the 6-0 scoreline, well, it reflected how good Victory were, but it didn't really tell you that Perth really fought. And I kind of well, I felt for them they didn't get something out of it, but bottom of the table, they didn't get a win this season, but they didn't go down without fighting.
No, and I don't think they went down quietly either. I think in the match against Victory, they had a couple of early opportunities, and had one of those been put away, it could have been a very different outcome. And not to say that the result would have been different, but 6-0 is maybe not a entirely accurate reflection of the effort that Perth Glory put into the early stages of that match.
I must say, coming out of that 90 minutes down south on Sunday, I'm keen to see what Cara Cooney-Cross does today, because she was exceptional for that match. But now it's Sydney FC on the attack. Still Sydney FC fancy their chances in front of goal, but it's a long-range shot from Remy Simpson. And we know she's spoken during the week about how she hasn't had silverware yet, which is surprising. Her 5th season with Sydney FC, and it's such a successful club, and they've contested every single final series in the W League. And it's hard to believe any of them haven't lifted a trophy, but Remy is one of them, and she'd dearly like to get her hands on some tonight.
Oh, look, I'm sure she would, and that opportunity just a few moments ago, she found herself in a good deal of space, and I think it was the right decision to shoot there. Didn't quite get the purchase that she would have liked on it, but again, that comes down to a synthetic pitch. The ball just gets away from you, so there's really no room to hide out here on synthetic. Your touch has got to be perfect, your distribution, your weight of the ball has got to be perfect, and there's just really no hide in.
Remy Simpson's quite literally playing in front of a home crowd. She's a Manly junior, as is Ali Green, and well, they were the two that, if we look at the bookends of the season, they were forced out of home over Christmas in pre-season because of the Northern Beaches cluster here in Sydney. So the club had to actually put them up outside of the hotspot, and now they get to finish their season in front of their home fans. Both of them grew up here at the club, as Lisa Devanna now charges forward. She's lost none of that trickery and flying feet of Devanna. Worth a shot there. Cooney-Cross well over the crossbar.
I don't mind that from Cooney-Cross though there. It's sort of those first nervy touches in a game. Sometimes it's decent to get one of those out of your system, but Lisa Devanna's done pretty well to hold on to this and just find Cooney-Cross in the middle of the park. And as you've mentioned, Kyra did have a great performance against Perth Glory at Epping Stadium, and I'm sure she'll be looking to repeat that again tonight with her efforts.
Work there to keep the ball in for Sydney FC. It's Claire Wheeler there. Now it's Annalie Longo on the counter. Holly Doran. Victory being patient. Put it into the mixer, and why not? Headed away by Nat Tobin. Still there now. Shot for Victory. Easy enough for Jada Wyman to deal with.
I think we're going to have quite the midfield battle there between Annalie Longo and Teresa Polias. Just a couple of moments ago, that's a beautiful turn in there from Annalie Longo, just to be able to roll off the shoulder of T. And you don't see people do that often to Polias, but Annalie Longo, she's a really experienced campaigner, and I'm sure she'll be battled up well against Teresa tonight.
Definitely. And Teresa Polias, the most experienced player on this pitch by some margin. We saw her bring up her 155th appearance by walking onto the pitch tonight. Such a fabulous servant to the W League. A couple of seasons at Central Coast Mariners to start her career in the league, and she's been sky blue ever since. Angie Beard. Devanna. Clever to head it over to Morrison. Now Bunge. Plenty of these Victory players on the score sheet. Bunge was one of them on the weekend, just after the half-time break. As you mentioned, Grace, they'll all be hungry for goals again tonight. Chance here for Victory. Doran chasing down, and it's well defended by Princess Abini.
Look, everyone loves to see a centre-back get on the end of a goal, and I'm sure Claudia Bunge was pleased to see that one sail in. Reward for her efforts, and a really good season that she's had here with Victory.
Back heel from Longo rolls out. Quick throw from Sydney FC, and they're off on the attack again. beautifully picked up at this end. Wheeler, Hawkesby. So you can afford to be patient, but we know what Lisa Devanna's terrier-like play is.
Yeah, look, we do, but nice patient play there from Sydney FC, just able to possess. And, of course, commentators curse, as I've said, that we've given it away to Angie Beard here.
Beard again charging down, can't find Ayres. Resolute defence in that sky blue wall. Melbourne Victory, who would have thought that less than a week ago they were in 5th spot, not even going to play finals football. Now they're vying for a Premier's plate. And Melina Ayres, it's picked up by Sydney FC. Simpson can't find Hawkesby. Back again for Melbourne Victory. Understandably a little bit frantic in the opening minutes. No wonder with so much on the line, and lovely work again from the sky blue side. Wheeler. Something we've seen Sydney FC do a couple of times, crossing in front of goal, and it's a brave thing to do against a side like this.
Yeah, look, it really speaks to their confidence in playing football and possession, and especially in front of the goal in that area of the pitch. And they don't mind knocking it back around there, and especially having someone like Teresa Polias just as a steady head in front of them, they're really comfortable to do so. You can get the sense now, just settling into the game, that sting and that zip out of the game is just starting to settle in, and both teams happy to just hold the ball and look to try and maintain a little bit of possession, but still not quite working it up into the middle part of the field in the way that they need to be.
Ricochet off Karakuni cross falls nicely for her teammate, and it's Jackson that nips in to pick it up. Now Longo goes back to Bunge to reset. Lots of space for Claudia Bunge as the New Zealander charges forward. And Devanna. That was clever work from Devanna. Now Melbourne Victory assessing their options. Devanna has her head up, spotted Melina Ayres running into the middle, but can't find her, and it's a lovely pass from Remy Simpson. Unfortunately unable to keep the ball there, and what a shame for Ali Green.
Front part of the field, sort of unfamiliar territory for her. And then Remy Simpson, just out of a bit of frustration perhaps, has given away a fairly reckless free kick there, and Victory will look to build again.
Well, Mindy Barbieri was hoping that one might have been one that she could intercept. Jackson back over the top. It's easy pickings for Nat Tobin. Melina Ayres is causing them all sorts of trouble. Fry goes back to Wyman. Devanna unable to keep it from Princess Abini. Plenty of young Matildas on the park today. In fact, we've got a whole host of them.
Yeah, between these two sides, there's just such quality. Young Matildas, junior Matildas, promising Matildas.
Future Matildas.
That's right. There's names here that will be a part of the fabric of Australian football for many years to come. But certainly Victory are still looking to apply a fairly high press to Sydney FC's defence, and looking to see if Sydney FC are going to cough something up, and on a couple of occasions they have. I think a high press is something that in the women's game particularly is really hard to deal with.
Well, Melina Ayres now. She's hungry for this one. Mindy Barbieri. Still Barbieri looking for navy blue options. Finds one. In the form of Annalie Longo, who pushes it out to Polly Doran on the right. Still with Doran. Well, still on for Melbourne Victory. And some neat footwork once more from Princess Abini. Been very effective in defence tonight.
This is something we've seen Princess Abini do over the last couple of games now. She's done a massive amount of defensive work, and she's naturally an attacking player, but on a few occasions now she's just had to track defensively so well, and she's got a lot of Ks in the leg doing that against Canberra last week too, and again tonight. She's going to have her work cut out for her with the style that Melbourne Victory are trying to play.
Yeah, Sydney FC taking a point from that match against Canberra. Were you surprised by that result?
Look, it was probably a pretty fair result. I think Canberra perhaps had the better of the chances and could have capitalised on those a little earlier. But 0-0 wasn't an unfair result in really how that match played out, Steph.
Simpson's pass is picked up by Angie Beard, who charges down, finds Mindy Barbieri on the near side. Still Barbieri, she's got Ayres centrally. Back heel to Beard. Beard patient. Real chance here for Victory. It's hooked up and too close to the side netting of Jada Wyman. No real threat. You mentioned how hard Victory are pressing. I spoke to Jeff Hopkins about that earlier, asking him if there was any fatigue in the legs, and he said he spoke to them this morning, and he said he doesn't know whether it's the occasion that it's become so exciting for them, and they are in finals football and they're challenging for a premiership, but they were all 100% ready to go.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and probably speaks to the support staff around the group as well, the physios, the doctors, everyone keeping them on the park. That's really important, especially when there are tight turnarounds in these games, that girls' sort of health and well-being is put first, and whether that's sort of resting players throughout the week or sort of load is managed really, really closely. And to be able to front up here tonight and have all your players at 100%, that's a fantastic position for Jeff to be in.
And you mentioned the support staff, and Victory have brought up their whole squad and their support staff to enjoy this occasion, and they'll be hoping that they're taking a trophy back on the plane tomorrow. Sydney FC might have something to say about that, though, as Victory go up. It is into the air. It's headed away by Pryor. A bit of aerial ping-pong going on in the middle of the Victory half. Cooney Cross looks to control. Still Cooney Cross. Gee, she got some power behind that. We saw by the lunge from Jada Wyman.
Yeah, it's really impressive there, the way that Kyra is able to get such pace on that shot, just off sort of 1 or 2 steps, and her first couple of steps off the mark are so explosive as well. She's just so fast with the ball at her feet, and she's done that a couple of times tonight, and looking to shoot from range, which on a synthetic pitch isn't the worst idea either, but Jada had that one well covered.
Devana trying to thread the needle for Melina Ayres. Beg your pardon, for Annalie Longo. With 20 minutes gone in this fixture. Still goals and that chance to get off the mark quickly. So now settles into perhaps more composed football. Rachel Lowe over the top doesn't quite come off for Simpson. Real opportunity for Lowe coming into the starting lineup.
Yeah, really pleasing to see Lowe enter the fray tonight, and although at the loss of Courtney Vine, I think Rachel Lowe did so well when she came on against Canberra, and equally tonight she's been impressive.
Now Devana through for Melina Ayres, still with Ayres. Back to Mindy Barbieri. Cooney Cross is there. Has a shot, and well, it was Nat Tobin in the way on that occasion. This is lively from Melbourne Victory.
Yeah, again, really dangerous from Kyra Cooney Cross there. Just a touch she was able to take across the top of the 18-yard box there, and just open herself up to give herself enough space and almost get her foot around that one for a decent shot away. But Nat Tobin, credit to her, positioned well, and she sees that out for a corner.
So corner for Melbourne Victory, and Kyra Cooney Cross, I'll get it out eventually. Kyra Cooney Cross ambles over to take. She's equally effective from both corners. And this delivery is flat, not quite sure she met that one. Melina Ayres gets a foot behind it. Claudia Bunge thought she might have been able to pop that in the top corner.
I think that may have also caught Sydney FC off guard in the delivery on that ball. Just sort of a grass cutter along the surface there of Cromer Park here tonight, and was unable to clear that one clearly, Sydney FC, and I'm sure Jada Wyman was relieved to see that one sail over the crossbar.
back under the way off the head of Simpson, brought down by Lowe, believed to have handled the ball. Unlucky bounce, perhaps.
Yeah, probably just a little bit too much shoulder, bicep, shall we say, coming into that one.
Morrison, one of a number of Americans in the league this season. It's been great for victory, although that delivery, of course, as I say, that over the top of all of her front line. Maybe she'd forgotten that Lisa Devano, perhaps a couple of inches off that one.
But you're right, Steph. Morrison back there alongside Claudia Bunge. They've developed a really great centre-back partnership, and they've established themselves as a really solid defensive four here at Melbourne Victory. You don't hear as much about those sort of defenders and those defensive partnerships, but they've established what is a really good foundation back for this Victory side, and a lot of the play starts with them, and it starts with them at the back there, and they look to build out. And again, we see here Morrison and driving in, and she's just got a really steady head on her.
Cooney Cross goes to Beard, back to Barbieri. Asking a bit of Cooney Cross. She might be up for it, but Tash Pryor quicker. Just loving watching what Cooney Cross can do. She can't be too far off Matilda's action, surely.
Oh, you'd think so. I think she's sort of proved herself in terms of what she's got to add in the way of value to her side, and she's so dangerous, as we said, against Perth Glory. And again, there's been glimpses of it tonight. It just feels as though every time she gets on the ball, she's going to either create something or look to goal herself, which as an attacking player, that's exactly what you want out of her.
Jackson only as far as McLean on this side. Up there for Princess Abinia, could be on here for Sydney FC. Looking for an opening, can't find one, still alive for Sydney FC, and it's going to be Annalie Longo that takes it away to safety.
Well, that's a really good opportunity there for Sydney FC, and Princess Abini just had to get her body across that one and use her physicality to separate herself from a Victory defender there, but was unable to do so cleanly.
So Longo as Victory set up once more in attack. Doran to Devana. Opts for Longo, who flicks it straight back. And they'll try the near side. Mindy Barbieri. Chance further up the park for Barbieri today. Beard. Look how tightly Sydney FC are marking. They know what's at stake.
Yeah, they certainly do. It was great to see Barbieri as well get her 50th W League cap against the Perth Glory, and what a great young player she is as well. At 20 years old and already 50 games under her belt at this level of competition. She's just got so much to bring and so much to offer in the way of her future for both the W League and potentially the national team too.
Yeah, super to see those milestones coming up. Sydney FC look to start off again. McLean. And a little bit more quickly, if you like, than she was expecting it.
But again, there's that really high press and good pressure from Melbourne Victory, just forcing errors out of Sydney FC.
Beard onto the head of Cooney Cross. Angie Beard having a decent stint in navy blue. Over to Devana. It'll drop for Teresa Polias, who tries to wrap her boot around it. Annie Jackson. To and fro here, all a bit scrappy as Princess Abini tries to chase that down, and you feel that both sides just need to get the ball down on the deck and start controlling the play.
Yeah, the moment you start pinging the ball around aerially on a pitch like Cromer, it's really bouncy, it's really bobbly.
We can see Ante Juric on our screen. He's had a busy day, Grace. He's a high school teacher at Matchville Sports High, and also head coach at Sydney Olympic and the head coach of the Sydney FC Women, and it'd be nice if we could give him a full-time job in the women's game, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be lovely.
Probably nicer for him. His schedule's pretty hectic, I think. He's been doing a great job with these women. His fourth season in charge here, but he is up against the master, I think, of W League coaching, if you like. Jeff Hopkins, 3 times coach of the year. And he did take Melbourne Victory to their only previous premiership a couple of years ago. And of course, this is a rematch of that semi-final where Sydney FC beat Melbourne Victory 1-0. Oh, look at that, beautiful from Rachel Lowe. Lowe charging through. Well, she spotted some space on the left. Sydney FC be able to run it down on the far side, yes. Now back to Abini. Plenty of sky blue options charging forward. Still Princess Abini. Hawkesby looks for the cheeky flick. Still alive in the area. Headed away by Jackson. Hasn't been brought down yet, and now it is. And it's a foul, and it's going to go in the way of Sydney FC.
Oh, this is a really dangerous area of the field to be conceding a free kick, and that passage of play there created by Rachel Lowe, just looking to be a little opportunistic and trying her luck. They're almost gambling on that. I thought for a minute perhaps she'd look to try and get it over Garton, and we'll have another look here at what the free kick's for. Perhaps just a trailing boot, and it's hard to exactly say from where we are, Steph. It looked fairly innocuous from here, but again, that's a prime position for a free kick. And
Polias doesn't mind either.
No, we've seen Teresa Polias hit these time and time again, and technically she's so adept. She's got the ability, she's got the capability to put this in the top corner.
Teresa Polias, 2 goals in her 150 plus appearances for the Sky Blue. Wouldn't mind another one today. Kate Jackowitz, make sure everyone's where they should be. Teresa Polias, it's a good delivery, and there is her 3rd goal for Sydney FC in her W League history, and what a time to score it. The Sydney FC captain gets the Sky Blue side off the mark in this premiership deciding match. Well done, Teresa Polias, and you can see how much that means to her teammates, and the crowd here at Cromer Park explodes. That's what they came here to see.
Well, Teresa Polias, we know she's the kind of technical player that would stand up, step up in those opportunities. That's a touch of class there. That's a beautifully struck free kick. She got enough pace on the ball just to clear the wall, and she's got the near post as well. Sweetly struck free kick. Well done, Teresa Polias.
Going to have a chat to Teresa, because I've been giving her heaps for years that she never scores in a game that I'm on, and I thought I was her bad luck charm, and she was way too classy on that occasion. And what a time for Sydney to score on the halfway mark here in this match with, well, they can sense it, one hand on the Premier's plate. A long way to go, of course.
Yeah, there's plenty of football to be played yet, but you could see what that meant to Teresa Polias. You could see the sort of ecstasy in her face after she struck that one.
You just got to be happy for Polias for everything that comes her way. Speaking of school teachers, another one. She's usually busy at McCallum High School.
Incredibly important people in our world.
A chance for Victory to reply. Corner on the near side this time. Cooney Cross delivers. There's plenty at the far post. It's headed down and easily cleared by Sydney FC ultimately. Real bustle in the box, and it's Angie Beard that says, "Don't worry, Kyra, I'll go over and take this one."
Well, here we get another look at that free kick from Teresa Polias, and didn't that have some pace behind it? And Garton, really nothing much she could have done to get a hand on that, but again, well done Teresa Polias as she celebrates with the team for that goal.
1-0 for the home side, and now Victory's chance for a corner from the opposite wing. Well, Angie Beard to deliver this one. We've got Cooney Cross at the top of the area. Well, it's in for Melbourne Victory on the roof of the net, unfortunately. Hooked over a little bit too far by Beard. Just wonder if that's not a bad option, given the height of Cooney Cross, to keep her in the mix.
Yeah, look, that's fair, and I think she's a really quality attacking player who has an eye for the ball, and she just puts her body on the line, is able to attack anything. So I think it's good to have that variability and mix it up between the delivery of Angie and Kyra on those options.
Oh, there's Cooney Cross to Ayres. Polias comes away with it. Oh, Remy Simpson being asked to show how fleet of foot she can be. Not fast enough for Morrison. Bunge. Longo's drop back. Goes back to her New Zealand teammate. Of course, both of them have their national team coach in the crowd here today, Tommy Samani, who told us during the week that he's been unable to have a national team camp given the spread of his players all around the world, but he can watch them in action here in the W League, of course, as it's Remy Simpson that...
Oh, look, that's
I beg your pardon, that's Mackenzie Hawkesby that picks up the first card.
Hawkesby there, yeah, really unnecessary, reckless kind of technical foul. There was no hide in that one there, and so I see the intent. She's tried to slow things down. She's tried to stop that counter-attack from the Victory, but yeah, just a bit of a reckless challenge there, unnecessary, and she's caught herself a yellow card for her efforts there.
So Cooney Cross. Cross with the free kick for the Victory. There's bodies there, ready, still alive, knocked away by Princess Abini. Devana was there, Barbieri's there. Simpson couldn't get to it before Jackson. And back with Melbourne Victory. Cooney Cross again. Headed away by Ali Green. Returned with interest and still there for Victory. And well done, Tash Pryor. Clears it to safety.
Yeah, it's an important clearance there by Tash Pryor. They're the kind of bobbly, bouncy ones that can be really difficult just to get out of that danger zone. And although she has conceded a corner there, Sydney FC having to absorb a bit of pressure from Victory at the moment.
You can hear the cheers of the Cove, but it's Victory with the ball into the far post, palmed away by Jada Wyman. And Kate Jakowicz awards them the free kick.
Yeah, interesting to see the sort of challenge on this one. I thought Jada should have probably looked to punch that one out. I think she's gone to take the grab in traffic, but really just a solid fist to clear that one away from danger is probably what's required there.
Gets it back up the park, headed by Cooney Cross. Again, ricocheting between the sides. Wheeler to Hawkesby, only as far as Polydor, and for the Victory. Now Devana trying to get through the sky blue traffic. Asking for support. She finds it in Beard. Angie Beard getting close attention from Rachel Lowe. Lowe to Wheeler. And Wheeler has spotted Remy Simpson, but Morrison once more too quick. I think we need a little bit better placement to beat Kayla Morrison.
Yeah, look, I think so. And I was about to mention there as well with Claire Wheeler. She's not a name we mention a great deal out here on the park, but she's so pivotal to this Sydney FC side in terms of her important link play. She's just one of those sixers who connects her passes, finds simple options, and albeit for that last one, here she is again on the ball and will look to find feet or turn out and just keep the ball.
Indeed, Claire Wheeler over to, unfortunately, offside flag up as she found Rachel Lowe. Claire Wheeler, I'm so used to mentioning her in a Newcastle Jets shirt because she spent so many seasons in Jets colours. But a wonderful addition to the Sydney FC side as Morrison gets Victory back underway off the head of Tash Pryor. You mentioned watching that with interest for a player that's been out with concussion, but showing no fear.
Yeah, it almost looked like she slightly winced away from that one, and I don't blame her. I do question her well-being behind that one, but time and time again, as a centre-back, you're going to be called upon to head the ball away, and Tash Pryor on multiple occasions tonight has already done so.
For sure, Jackson and Longo combining to get the ball back for Victory. So says Green. I'll have this one, she says, forcing Devana to stay clear. Still Ali Green getting more attention now, but picks out Rachel Lowe. Lowe nimbly steps over the boots of Devana and puts it in the path of Charlotte McLean. Still with McLean, gets around Morrison, and eventually it's Angie Beard that clears the danger. And wow, took an eternity to roll over the sideline. Great work from Sydney FC, and another chance here for McLean with the throw in. navy blue shirts have streamed back in defence. Remy Simpson. Charlotte McLean gets around Barbieri, crosses in. It's a decent cross, but it didn't beat Amy Jackson. Devanna's dropped back to help out. Kenny cross. Falling over Pryor and gets the ball underway quickly. Melina Ayres. Still Melina Ayres. Will she have a shot? It's deflected. Devanna comes in. Still Lisa Devanna. Back to Mindy Barbieri. Cooney cross. Slides it through for Longo. Victory looking for options, and Jackson tries to pick out Ayres. Still there for Annalie Longo. Not anymore.
Not a bad build-up there from Victory after absorbing a fair bit of pressure from Sydney FC. I loved how Cooney Cross just looked to play that quick free kick and look for a counter-attack and try and create something at the other end of things. And Amy Jackson perhaps a little bit impatient with that final pass after some good possession from the Victory, but Victory certainly looking dangerous when they turn things around quickly.
Rachel Lowe getting all sorts of attention from Lisa Devanna. Bunge back over the top. It's pushed forward again for the Sky Blues. Coming up to the 40-minute mark of this first half. Sydney FC goal aside, who would you say has had the upper hand?
Look, I think Victory are probably controlling this game a little bit more. They look to have the better options up front. They definitely look to have more options up front. Again, I think Remy Simpson's getting a little bit isolated there, and on the few occasions she hasn't had much in the way of support around her. And similarly, when Princess Abini has had an opportunity on goal, there hasn't been many sky blue shirts around her. So I think, for the most part, Victory controlling this game and controlling possession.
I think this first half has been lively enough that both sides will start looking to the benches in the second half as Longo tries to bring it down for Victory. Of course, with another match for both sides in the semi-finals just days away. I wonder what sort of options each coach will go for. Of course, we've got the likes of Alira Toby on the Sydney FC bench. Charlie Rule has come into the side, and how about Catherine Zimmerman as a sub on the Victory bench?
Oh, there's some great options off both benches, and the quality on the Sydney FC bench, it sort of can be like for like. There's just such good young players coming through there, whether it's Toby or Taylor Ray, who did a fantastic job last week against Canberra.
Indeed, look at that from Courtney Vine. She's being called for it, but much to the delight of the crowd as well.
Yeah, just a solid challenge in there by Cooney Cross, and
I've got Courtney Vine on the brain now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Courtney Vine is here, of course, watching on. She'd love to be taking part of this, so a shout out to her, and hopes for a speedy recovery as her side charges forward once again. Rachel Lowe this time, player deputising for Vine. Wheeler back to Mackenzie Hawkesby. Low-Wheeler combination again. Still Claire Wheeler gets around Barbieri. Wheeler crosses it in, and any navy blue shirts waiting.
Look, I think Wheeler has Barbieri's number there, and she can pick that she's got her for pace. So just a little nudge past her shoulder and look for an opportunity in the box. But there's definitely more navy blue shirts in there at the moment, and Sydney FC streaming forward, but they're outnumbered back there, and they've got to be patient and look to get some more numbers forward if they want to be able to capitalise on this third of the field.
Playing to Wheeler, dealt easily with by Morrison. As far back as Simpson. She's got Mackenzie Hawkesby there, who's a fantastic shot. Oh, and Abini with the follow-up, can't make it count. What an opportunity for Sydney FC. Some reflex saves required from Gabby Garton.
Oh, that was a really top save there from Garton, and Hawkesbury struck that sweetly. Just this able to settle the ball off of Remy Simpson here, and hasn't she got a piece of that? And Garton called into action. It wasn't too far away from her body, but just certainly a reaction reflex shot. Really important to step up, and big save there for Victory.
Sydney FC with a corner and an opportunity perhaps to give themselves a 2-goal cushion. Nice delivery from Polias that goes, as I say it swings into the side netting, and quite what they would have been after.
Yeah, look, not exactly the delivery that Polias would have wanted on that one. And here's that opportunity again from Hawkesbury, just the shot on goal a couple of moments earlier, and she struck that really nicely and forced to save out of Garton. But
yeah, great passing from Simpson too to side-foot it into the path of Hawkesbury, but have to regather now, and Melbourne Victory now on the attack once more.
Victory on that corner as well. They'd put everybody behind the ball there, so they didn't have an outlet up top in the way of a 9 or a target player. They know how dangerous Sydney FC are on those attacking set pieces and particularly corners, and looking to a really defensive setup on that last corner just there.
As we tick closer to half-time, Victory hoping to make their opportunities count, but it's look at the other end of the park, and Remy Simpson on the run.
Well done there by Morrison as well, just having the mind to nod that back to Garton, and Victory are able to regain possession and build up again.
Morrison outpacing Hawkesbury, at least initially. Barbieri away from McLean. Devanna. And Claudia Bunge. Longo. Patient build-up from Melbourne Victory here. Longo back to Beard, who's urging all her teammates forward. And Jackson can't quite control, regathers in time to find Claudia Bunge in the back line once more. Perhaps a miscommunication between Jackson and Longo, sees Polias on the run again. And Sydney FC with yet another opportunity in attack. 30 seconds or so till the first 45. Unravels in the end, but perhaps a chance for Ali Green to set them up again. Still Sydney FC, and that's beautiful. Sky blue shirts coming forward. And headed away by Morrison, alert to that opportunity, and back down for a beanie. Left to Polias to regather. So we're told there's 1 minute of time added on.
We see Victory as well there, just sort of probing a couple of moments early and trying to find that build-up play, but unable to find that penetrating pass, and just needing to get some numbers between lines and people checking off there, looking for the ball, finding themselves in half spaces, and it's just that impatient final pass that's giving them away.
And collision between McLean and Devanna.
I think they've got their laces tied up. No love lost there.
Did look like that. Remaining on the clock in this first half, and perhaps an opportunity for Victory. One more chance to level the scores. Ali Green tries to find a sky blue shirt up the park, but it's Kate Jackwitz that says that is the end of the first stanza here, and home crowd cheers their side as they walk off to the change rooms. A goal in the lead after a fantastic free kick from Teresa Polias into the back of the net, and giving Sydney FC a 1-0 lead. Half-time at Cromer Park. Sydney FC 1, Melbourne Victory 0. Another look at that cracking free kick. Absolutely textbook from Teresa Polias.
Yeah, that was an absolutely class finish from Teresa, and you can see what that meant to her. She doesn't put many away, but when she does, to do that in front of a home crowd as